The Boondocks, one of the best shows I've ever watched to this day. It's a certified hood classic. This show has one of, if not the best duo known to man, Huey and Riley Freeman. They complement each other perfectly. They're like MJ and Scotty, Curry and Clay, LeBron and D-Wade. Huey has the brains and thinks logically, while Riley has the street smarts. You know Riley got that dog in him. And at the end of the day, they need each other to win and make the show entertaining. And to prove this, I'll provide 2 examples. Now let's get into it. Return of the King. In this episode, Martin Luther King gets shot, but he doesn't actually die from the shot. Instead, he gets put into a coma that lasted for 32 years. He wakes up in 2000 to see what has become of the world, and oh man, has it changed.
Oh shit, my nigga MLK! Hey, what's up, folks?
Yeah, so he goes onto a talk show and they ask him about the Al-Qaeda and 9/11 attacks. And he says to turn the other cheek, and well, I guess that wasn't the correct response they were looking for, because now the entire US is calling him a traitor. Oh, and you can't forget about Uncle Ruckus hating on black people.
Thank God for the white man's infinite mercy, Martin Luther King. Cause if it was up to me, I'd unleash the hound and turn y'all into puppet child.
So Martin Luther King ends up going to the Freeman house to have dinner, and they end up flashing back showing Robert was on the bus with Rosa Parks when she was asked to move to the back. So Robert, Rosa Parks, and 2 other dudes are planning not to move, saying, "We ain't moving no matter what you hear, alright?" And when push comes to shove, these 2 fools fold. Look at them dancing to the back, man. So the bus driver gets to Robert and tells him to move, but he refuses. And you think everybody'd be shocked, but the bus driver straight up ignores him and goes to Rosa Parks and tells her to move. But Rosa doubles and gives it to the next person, and the whole bus is in shock. So you know everything goes down and they have to get off the bus, but they still ignore Robert, which has rubbed them the wrong way ever since. And now Martin Luther King and Huey are sitting on the couch and scrolling through the channels, and well, they're not of Martin Luther King's time. So Martin Luther King asked Huey what happens, and Huey said they're waiting for Martin Luther King to come back. But Martin Luther King says, "Nah, I'm good," and quits fighting. So it's the next day, and Huey starts pressing Martin Luther King to fight for freedom and justice again. So Martin Luther King finally agrees, and they go to an interview, and bro is pressing Martin Luther King heavy. So Huey uses a modern defense tactic and throws a folding chair at him. Yeah, I said it. So there's a party going on in the name of Martin Luther King, and this place is packed. So Huey and Martin Luther King have to push their way to the stage, and Martin Luther King finally gets on stage and see what's become of his people, and goes off.
Will you ignorant niggas please shut the hell up?
Yeah, he goes off on him and tells him that he quits and he's going to Canada. But his speech goes viral, and it actually leads to an uprising. And we cut to 2020, and it shows that Martin Luther King has died peacefully at 91. But there's another thing. It's that Oprah's president. So, yeah. On to the next. The trial of R. Kelly. We start off with Robert, Huey, and Riley watching TV when the news shows that R. Kelly is going to be on trial again for, well, relieving himself on a little girl. And it turns out that Tom will be leading the prosecution, and, well, it doesn't go as planned for him, but we'll get back to that. Riley asks Robert if he can take him and Huey to the trial, but Robert, being the old head he is, tells him no. So they end up walking, and they run into Tom. Riley ends up pressing Tom, asking him, "Why R. Kelly, man? What he do to you?" Tom's like, "Well, he peed on a girl, and that's against the law." Riley then says, "Alright, then riddle me this. I can pee in the toilet, and it's alright. But if I pee on a person, it's not." And Tom's like, "Yeah." Then Riley's like, "Alright, what if I'm peeing and Huey's in the bathroom and something gets on him? Do I then go to jail?" And once again, Tom's like, "No, you won't go to jail." And finally, Riley's like, "I see pee coming, I move. She saw pee coming, she stayed. And I'ma miss the new R. Kelly album just for that." And walks away. Huey and everybody who was watching TV was like, damn, he really cooked Tom. We then cut to outside of the courthouse where there are already people with posters who can't spell and waiting for R. Kelly to pull up. A fight then breaks out with some of the Malcolm X clones and protesters. The Malcolm X clones was whooping them, not gonna lie. Man, they even got the reporter crying. Then eventually R. Kelly pulls up and everybody freezes, and he's got that black mask on. Bro thinks he's Zorro, and he's like, "Everybody, calm down. This isn't a way to act." Well, Tom is very confident that he'll win because, quote unquote, Lady Liberty is on his side. But little did Tom know how bad the American justice system is, and the fact that R. Kelly had Scrooge McDuck as his attorney. This man Tom was destined to lose. Scrooge McDuck starts ranting about crazy topics that I can't even say on YouTube, and everybody somehow thinks he's cooking. He then pulls out the wild card to explain why the law is against R. Kelly.
Racism.
So yeah, this whole trial is a joke. So we get to the video evidence, and yeah, I'm blurring all of this. But yeah, it's clear and cut that it's R. Kelly in the video. And Tom thinks he has the case won until Scrooge McDuck brings up that Tom is married to a white woman. And well, it all goes downhill from here for Tom. Tom inevitably gives up because of the ignorance of these people, and they all start dancing to some R. Kelly music. But look at Scrooge McDuck. Huey then tries to stop him and tell him how foolish they look right now, and they need to give R. Kelly the proper help that he needs. But of course they ignore him and continue dancing. So it ends with Huey and Tom coming to terms with the loss and accepting defeat. So yeah, that's why I like the Boondocks so much. They have Riley with the comedic relief, and at times the devil's advocate, and Huey, the one with common sense and strong sense of justice. And that's it. I appreciate you if you got this far. Stay easy now.